Hi, my name is Kevin Dorr, also known as Xenosynthesis and Alien 456. This is going to be a drone-guided tour of my game, The City of Rome. We have been working on this for the past 10 months. As of midnight last night, it has reached fruition. I apologize for any background noise in advance. Let's get this show on the road. So we are currently in the Capitol. This is the largest building in the game. It's over 8,000 components. This is going to be basically the seat of the government. This is where all of the prime ministers and whatnot reside and meet with foreign delegates. Over here in the back, we're going to have the Palace Gardens. They're still under construction. Keep in mind this is a beta, so not everything is quite ready. Some scripts may be broken, others may not even be in here yet. Alright, so we're going to go around here. Here's the gardens. And let's see, where do we go from here? Let's go back up top. And let's cross this river. So it's still rendering. Over here, we've got the hospital. This is where the Italian emergency services will work. They can use these pads are used to spawn different vehicles. The emergency team can spawn things like ambulances. We're also working on a bus for them. Down this road, we're going to see the Trevi Fountains. Now, this is one of the most beautiful landmarks in Rome, in my opinion. This was built by one of my friends. And you can just see the sheer attention to detail compared to the actual landmark. Up here on these columns, we can actually see just how attentive we were to detail. We've got all these little furls, these scrolls, feathers, leaves, whatever they are all hand-built. Then down here, we've got another famous Italian landmark. This is the Spanish Steps. Now, we don't have the fountain up quite yet, but the Spanish Steps themselves are done. This is normally where we will hold speeches, press conferences, and even parades. This was just built last night. A lot of this has been under construction since last April. And the key buildings, you can tell which ones are newest because of how tremendously higher quality the buildings are. We have been learning a lot as we work on this game. Over here, we've got the Carabinieri station. The Carabinieri are the Italian military police. So here's where they're going to operate from. They can hold meetings. They can access armories, which are coming soon. I want to show you something really cool. So within our role-playing group, the Carabinieri are affectionately referred to as the Crabs. And so we gave them their own little aquarium over here. And within the aquarium are, you guessed it, crabs. I apologize for any camera clipping. This drone is not handling these updates quite very well. So there's other parts of this building that are still under construction, so we're not going to look at those just yet. There we go. Yeah, unfamiliar mouse, my apologies. So we're going to go back outside. There's a reception area we can at least look at. And then go out the door. Come on, little drone, you can do it. All right, let's see. What's next stop? Yes. So this landmark over here, it's got an Italian name that I cannot hope to spell or pronounce properly, so my apologies. My mom actually has gone to visit this building before, so if she were here in this room with me right now, she could definitely explain what its purpose is, its history. Here's another landmark who, unfortunately, I cannot pronounce its name either. It's like Altair something. But all like we made certain that the majority of Rome's historical landmarks are present. Now, over here, we've got Radio Televisione Italiana, I think it's pronounced. This is the news station. We've got their own studio over here, and a stage where they can actually hold press conferences. So the next building over here is actually a building from our previous version of Rome. We built this building back in like 2013, and we're going to be replacing it soon. We just needed it as a placeholder. This is where the Consiglio, their Senate, are going to meet. And if we peek through the windows here, we can see one of my personal projects that I made earlier this year. So For the role-playing, we actually do have meetings and we require voting on different bills and laws and alliances. And so I made these laptops, which the drone can't operate, but players can. These laptops let you actually vote, and then up there on those screens, right around here, you can actually see these real-time scores and progress. So voting is private, but the end results are public. Let's go down here and see what's next on our list. So across this bridge, there's in between these two canals is a island of some sort. I forget its name, but it's still under construction, as evidenced by the big tower crane over there. Down the road, right over here, we're going to be adding a courthouse later. The courthouse, once we actually get a functional justice system on this game, because that has eluded us for years. And down this road even further, we've got another building that's mostly done exterior-wise. Interior-wise, it's got some work to do. Where'd it go? Ah, yes. I believe it's pronounced the Palacio de Defensa. The Palace of Defense is, yeah, this building over here. Up, and it sounds like there's a car nearby. Yeah, we do have a few Italian military personnel online. My buddies Rex and Ant. Yep, there they are. Hi, guys. You can't hear me, but if you watch this video later, you will. So this is where the Italian military will operate from. Right now, the building has no interior. We did give them an underground parking garage where they can store their lenses. It's a type of APC. So yeah, I apologize for any obnoxiously loud engine sounds. Our old cars were about 50 times worse, so that's good. And oh my, we forgot to securely anchor the fences. Now, I'm not sure what this building was. One of my friends was working on it. So I don't know what this thing's going to be yet, but it's looking good. Let's go back across the river. And let's see what's next. Ah, yes, over here. This is a good place to talk. So one of my friends who actually does live in Italy was the builder for this building thing over here. It's some sort of cathedral. I forget its name. I wish I was better with these Italian names, but this is an actual cathedral in Italy. It's not the Vatican. That's coming later. But yeah, this was another extremely well-built facility. He's got nice Gothic arches everywhere, and the contours of this dome were just incredible. Let's see what else is in this area that I have not talked about. Over here, some sort of ruins that we're working on. I think this was actually something they recently unearthed in real life. I don't know what it is yet. Oh, my drone is stuck on the pavement. Let's see, where's the... Oh yes, there's something I completely passed up that I should not have. Actually, two somethings. The drone does have a finite clicking distance, so bear with me. If I made it an infinite clicking distance, then it would just fling itself into empty space. So around this corner, we're going to have, up the hills, it's not this. This is another Italian ruin of some sort. I forget its name as well. But if we just can get over this hill, we're going to have the most famous building in all of Rome, the Colosseum. Now, one of the developers of my team proposed we make an actual gladiatorial system for events where we would give players swords and they would duke it out in the arena. I don't really have any opinions either way on that. I think it would be interesting, but also a little bit messy. And then here is one of my personal projects. One of my biggest contributions to the team was the terrain. So you'll notice that most things here are brick-based, like with Lego. But all the terrain in this game I made myself, and down here is the most intricate part of the game, the catacombs. So in real life, the catacombs in Italy have a whole bunch of like burial sites, and I added some new mixes to it. So for starters, there's going to be a mine down here, and I did a lot of online research for actual Italian minerals such as fluorite, barite, garnet. Oop, come on, through here. So these catacombs it is super easy to get lost. Even I get lost in them, and I actually designed them that way. I want people to get lost because there's so much down here to discover, little Easter eggs, if you will. So down here is the entrance to the mine, and right off the bat, we've got a garnet crystal. Now we do not. I'm in charge of the mini games for this city, and while I have scripted several of them, they are currently not hooked up to the economy system. Up here you see my wallet in lira. I know the modern Italy doesn't use lira right now, but we're just using that for historical purposes. So if once we get that set up, you can go buy a pickaxe and then start extracting minerals such as this, and then selling them to a merchant who we're still working on. I want to show you something very special. Now this is going to be something that is not actually in Italy in real life, but I added it just for amusement. So past this, I believe it's barite or amber or something I put in there. Yeah, so let's see, is it this door or is it another door? One of these passageways is going to lead to, yeah, it's this one. All right, goody. I call this the Shrine of Zeno. I'm one of the oldest developers in the Rome Nation community. I actually co-founded the community back in 2012, and so I think I've kind of earned my own little egotistical shrine. Now, all these meshes, like the knights, the bionicle masks, the Mass Effect Geth over here, I made these myself. And we've got a pile of some of my best guns I ever designed, my sarcophagus, and protecting it is my Mavic Pro, which I got for Christmas last year. And over here is my hover bike. This is a Sparrow from Destiny. So this is just one of many little Easter eggs that we've put throughout the catacombs, daring adventurers to find them. Now, I could probably extend this video by another half hour just to explore the catacombs, because there's so much depth to this location. But I'm going to try to find my way out, if I can. Yeah, this is not the right way. This is going down to the basement of the catacombs, which is very convoluted. I'm going to go up here, retrace my steps. Yep, there's that orangish, yellowish crystal. I forget what I named this one, but it is an actual Italian mineral. Whoa. Okay, so my drone decided to become intangible. That's cool. My drone can fly through walls. That rarely happens. There's another thing I do want to show down here. So, one of my buddies, Christopher, he's a firefighter in Canada, and we decided to add a little shrine for him. He's not dead. He insisted we have a shrine for him. And a lot of my friends belong to this sort of teapot cult, and so they have teapots in their heads, and we decided to include that on the altar, as well as one of my bionicle masks, which I made for a project at Webster University. Now let's head back upstairs, because we're very close to the exit, so I should not be getting lost again. As you can see, the server population is growing steadily, so there might be a little bit of latency. We did register on Roblox's developer forums for beta access to the 200-player servers, but when we tested that, Rome simply could not support it. So right now we're doing, I believe, 60 as our max players, which is still a lot more than other players get access to. Yeah, okay, so over here is a fluorite crystal, which marks one of the exits. Now, eventually, for this mini-game, we're going to have the crystals procedurally generated in random locations. So when you extract one, it'll spawn again a minute later in a different location, forcing players to constantly be on the move as opposed to just camping over at the site of a known crystal node. And so while we're in this area, I do want to show another little mini-game that is like 99% complete, which is definitely my favorite mini-game. So it just doesn't give money yet. That's the only issue, is we still have to hook up our economy to my minigame module. But let's circle around here. And speaking of last summer, so as a lot of you may know, I was an intern at Roblox over in San Mateo last summer, and I made a game called Drone Heist. And Drone Heist was moderately successful by Roblox standards. And since I added my own drones to the city, I decided to take it a step further. So Drone Heist had it was a puzzle game, and with Drone Heist, you use the drone's grappling system to pick up and deliver items to different zones, like connecting power cores to power sockets. So over here, we're going to have a little warehouse that I built, and the warehouse is full of crates. Now you could think of this as like an Amazon fulfillment warehouse, where Amazon stores all their goods for delivery. So, yes, there's the warehouse. So, within this warehouse, we have a variety of little crates here, and the drone just clicks on the crate, and he's picking it up. So there are going to be a variety of businesses here. Right now we just have one, Maroni's Diner, and I named Maroni's Diner after Salvatore Maroni, a very famous Batman villain. He was an Italian mobster. He did not have any superpowers. Anyway, so we're going to take this crate. Ideally, the drones will actually have altitude settings so that they aren't dragging the crates, because, let's be honest, this is not good delivery. This is damaging the goods before arrival. So I'm going to take this crate over here to this white pad. Oh my, someone's got a motorcycle right next to me. I apologize for the noise. Yes, it's this guy. He's another one of our members of the community who's an actual Italian. I cannot pronounce his username, and I don't even know his real name or anything. I just met him a few days ago. Anyway, so there's a few more things I do want to show before we call it a session. This is such a huge game, it can be very easy to get turned around. So this is another one of the buildings that we had back in our 2013 version of Rome. And this is the Pantheon. We did make a few changes, like we added an actual hole in the roof, just like the real historical structure. Since back in ancient Roman times, they didn't really understand things like, well, light switches, so they had completely natural lighting within the Pantheon, and they did that by having a giant dome in the ceiling. Now, my drone could fly down there, but in all likelihood, it's going to get stuck, so let's move on. This is definitely a very nice server population we got going, and it just keeps growing more and more, which is good. So back in 2013, when we originally made the City of Rome, it was such a huge success for its time that it got added to the ROBLOX Hall of Fame by the ROBLOX administrators, and we've spent the past 10 months rebooting it, because our previous versions of Rome were not up to par. So it's over here, past this monument, whose name I forget. It's not the Washington Monument, but it's very similar looking. So, as part of the public transportation system, we are working on a actual subway station. There's going to be 3 of these in the city, and we haven't scripted them to actually work yet, but you can check them out. These will be a rapid access for the public to get from different distant regions. Wow! Okay, there must be some sort of actual emergency going on. I'll go check that out after I get downstairs. So my friend Cole Zimmerman, Z-Cole96, he's a aerospace engineer from Michigan. He made this, and he's working on, let me zoom in just a little bit here. He's actually working on programming it so that there will be monorails, well, subways going through here, like the Metrolink kind of thing. I forget the exact term that they use in Italy. But yeah, let's see if I can get upstairs and see what all this commotion's about. If not, if I can't, then we'll just call it a video. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, so I'm really happy to get this off my back. I've been pouring my heart and soul into this project since last April, and while it's definitely positioned for improvements, it's a gigantic milestone for us. I believe my next project is I'm going to be working on a Mars colony with some of my friends. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.